Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monochromatic Mondays. You know who I am, the cat and cap. Got a cap on today. Your good fellow fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo of StyleArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And today's Monochromatic Mondays. It is Mondays, the beginning of the week. I hope that you are excited about whatever position or job you're going to, and if you're not, please change it. I mean, shoot, life is too short for you not to be enjoying where you're going. But today we are going to be having a conversation about color, as it is Monochromatic Monday. And we're going to be talking about the color black, or the lack of color when it comes to black. And part of that is because this is Black History Month. And so we're going to be starting a conversation over the next 2 weeks about different elements that come into play when it comes to black history, especially in style and in fashion. Hopefully to give you some things to think about. So as we continue, quick question. What does black mean to you? What does black represent to you and for you? And we're going to go quickly through the consciousness, the construction of this into your wardrobe, and then the communication of what black ultimately is, as we always do. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the consciousness. When it comes to black, black is often associated with an interesting dynamic, because first and foremost, black is not a color, it is the absorption of all colors. And so when we look at it, we look at something that is absorbing all colors. Our eye cannot distinguish from those separations of colors along the color spectrum, so it formulates a image that we call black. And so because of that, it is the full color spectrum of all those different types of colors. And when we start moving into the construction of your wardrobe, a lot of people like wearing black, right? Because black does go with everything. Black is going to match with everything because it is all colors. It's a representation of all colors. I'm not really a huge black wearer, but I do understand the appeal for guys and ladies who tend to wear a lot of black. Of course, it is often seen as more slimming. It has a very elegant and or sinister type of meaning behind it. And so since we're talking about that, just quickly to talk about the communications space there, black is an interesting dichotomy because it has been associated with evil and sinister and all those different types of nefarious meanings, that something could be afoot here if that person was in a hooded black cloak or what have you. But black is also associated with elegance, with formality, with expansion, with mystery. And so when we start talking about black tie affairs, that's one of the most formal things that you could do outside of a white tie affair. Interestingly enough, interesting dynamic there. But a black tie affair is associated with formality, elegance, and a space of cultural elevation in those spaces. So when we have those black tie affairs, everybody dresses up in their best, and they dine a different way, they talk a different way, they move a different way that evening. And so it's important for us to understand that we talk about space, we talk about going into the blackness, and that there is an expansion there, right? There is a mystery there. And interestingly enough, a lot of, when it comes to blackness, because of that mystery, we're often very afraid of what that can represent, or what we may find when we go into that space. And so you either have to have an explorative mindset, or you have to have a fearful mindset. And in fear, we either fight or we flight, right? It's either fight or flight. And so because of that, it's important for us to understand those dynamics that come into play in those spaces, and really begin to explore what black means to us. So I would pose that question to you again. What does the color black represent to you? What does that mean to you? And leave me some comments in the comment box. Let me know what those thoughts are. And I would love to continue this conversation. Please share this with your friends, because this is a good conversation to start having when it comes to our understanding of colors and how they impact us. And lastly, please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, that's fine. But please make sure you give me some feedback also in the comment box so that we can have a dialogue and I can make it better. I'm always about improvement and about getting better and progression. So I definitely would love to hear from you. Last but not least, it's Monday. It's the beginning of the week. Chance for you to make a change or to continue to sustain your greatness. Because don't forget that you are great. It's not something that you have to become. You already exist in that space. Lastly, don't forget to make sure that you are always on point when it comes to your looks. And don't forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind.